on the 43rd edition of your Earth Matters program. On today's program, I have an amazing guest. But before I introduce my guest to you, my name remains Labake, also known as Elizabeth, the anchor of your Health Matters program. I'm going to do a bit of introduction for my guest today before I ask the guest to actually introduce herself. So on today's program, I have Judge Fumi Ashaolu, who is currently preside at the Court Reality TV show. The Justice Court, known as the Justice Court. She was called into the Nigerian bar over 30 years ago. She is actually the management consultant and a certified mediator for over 15 years. Interesting. Judge Fumi has been into active legal practice as a barrister and solicitor with vast experience in litigation. I actually came across some of Judge Fumi's video on YouTube, and I looked at it, and I was like, something caught my attention. I was like, this is Nigeria, and the way she actually dealt with the issue, the way she actually supports the people, I was really amazed. And I was like, I need to invite Judge. It was really hard work because she's a very busy woman to actually get her on today's show. Please, everyone, join me to welcome on board Judge Fumi Ashaolu. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Please, I will still need you to introduce yourself to my audience, a bit of your background, let them know you.
Okay. Well, I'm a lawyer. I've been in active practice, legal practice for some time. I'd worked with um, some blue web companies. Um, I started my career with the law firm of Tayo Tigo and Co, SAN. From there, an SAN2. Then I was with Chief Dele Kedekia, the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Ondo State. I worked with Oladipo Peshiyanko, SAN, um, before I now went into partnership. I started from Yasaru and Crew thereafter, then went into partnership with Labocat and Blackstone before I now started presiding at the Justice Court.
Thank you so much. So my first question is, can you explain what Justice Court is all about and what led to this emergence?
Justice Court is a court that emerged because we're trying to fill in the gap within the judiciary. It's an alternative dispute resolution court process.
Okay.
It emerged for us to be able to bring justice to those that ordinarily might not have the opportunity to appear at the regular courts because some of them cannot even afford the services of a lawyer.
Hmm.
And the process is less acrimonious because most times they walk out of the justice court, that's the litigants, as friends. And a lot of them continue their business relationship thereafter. And the procedure is very fast. But most of all, it helps to decongest the regular traditional courts.
Thank
That's the first piece there.
thank you so much. So what does it entails? I think you touched a bit about it just now. What does it entails to appear at the Justice Court? What are the procedures? Do they need to pay? What are the costs?
Well, cases are submitted online. It's a civil court.
Okay.
Cases are submitted online through the website. We've presided over cases where people were able to join from UK
Hmm?
and some other countries outside Nigeria. Yes.
That's good.
because we do online case as well. And when you submit your case to the website, it goes to the legal team.
Okay.
They will reach out to the defendant, sort it out, and when they compile the cases, they pass it to the courts. And it's at no cost. You don't have to pay any money if you
Wow.
are paying costs.
Wow. Did you hear the audience? You don't have to pay actually when you're submitting your case. So the next question that will take me to the next one. Do you obtain consent from the litigants that appear before you? Because I can see you were showing some videos on YouTube. So did you normally take obtain consent from the litigants that appear before you to hear their cases or sections? Or how does that work?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Because all cases are shown on TV
Hmm.
and some social media accounts.
Hmm.
And those that do not embrace that, we encourage them to go to the traditional courts.
Hmm. Wow, that's actually really interesting. I and another one because I have actually have questions. So before the audience start asking their questions, there was a time I was watching some of your cases, and I observed that you did offer a financial assistance at times. What makes you do this? I don't understand. You're the judge.
Okay.
They are coming to you, and you're the one supporting them financially. That was actually what got me attracted to your program.
Yes, at times there are some litigants that we discover that due to some wrong decisions they have made, not because they had bad intention, but they were just unlucky. And by taking such decisions, they find themselves in a pitiable situation. At
Mm.
that point in time, the courts at times decide
Mm-hmm.
to help them, to put them back on their feet, so that it will be easier for them to pick up the pieces of their life together. We do that.
So are you saying you use your personal money to support the litigants because they've made it's I was like that was actually I did start that question to say because they were supposed to come and pray for your professionalism and support, you being the judge, but you then giving them money. So can you let's talk more about that, please? Can you give me an example of when you said they've made some mistakes in the past, since you said they've given you consent, so are we allowed to cite an example here?
Okay, for instance, I'll mention some few cases.
Okay.
We had a case of this couple, not married,
Okay.
they were dating. One of them was based in Abuja. The man was based in Abuja and he had a girlfriend in Lagos. And the girlfriend encouraged him to move over to Lagos. And along the line, they fell out, and the lady brought him to court. And under the accusation of domestic violence.
Mm.
Meanwhile, the man was actually living with the person the lady recommended. So I could see between the line because the man eventually was thrown out, he was homeless.
Mm.
And if he does not get that assistance, he might end up falling into the wrong hand
Mm.
and picking up behavior that could land him in trouble eventually. So at that point in time, we assisted him. We had some, they were abandoned. The lady, the husband left for Malaysia and was left with four kids, four
Wow.
children.
Wow.
Nothing. Yeah. Several others like that too. I remember we had a lady that had two kids, and due to domestic violence as well, she had to leave the matrimonial home and she had two children on her. She was working in the bank before and eventually she lost her job and she had two children. So we had to come in to assist her. And apart from the court assistance, we do get some good Samaritans as well that reach out to us from all over the world. When they want the YouTube cases, they request for some litigants' contacts. Yes, we give them the contacts after we seek permission from the litigants. So we link them up and they come back to report to us the assistance that they are giving to them financially. Some they pick up the fees of their children's school fees
Mm.
up to secondary level. They pay their rent, they invest them, they give them money to start business as well. A lot of support we get from watching the show and by appearing on the show as well.
Thank you so much. So normally when we start program, we actually kind of dialogue and ask interview. But on this one, because I've got a lot of people asking me that they want to ask you questions, so I'm gonna open the line. So the admin, can you please type the line, and can you please tag George Fumi Ashaolu as well, so that she's actually live on our page. She's got lots of followers as well, and obviously so that they can put in. And I cannot read your comments at the moment on Facebook. So if you're calling or watching from Nigeria, please call on the WhatsApp number. This is an opportunity for you to, like I said, Judge Fumi Ashauli is not somebody you can catch easily like that. She's really, really busy. And I know in our country, we don't really appreciate people like her. And because I wasn't surprised when I approached her, and somebody was saying, so we're going to pick that call and we'll continue. Hello?
Hello, good evening. It's good to be back. And good evening, Judge Premier Shalu. It's a great pleasure to have you on the show. I'm very excited. If you can't hear it from my voice, it must be the hot weather here. But yeah, very, very excited to have you. And I've been seeing your show with most of my friends will be talking about you and the support you give. You're not biased because sometimes you feel like, oh, maybe she's gonna, because she's a female judge, she's gonna be sticking up for the female. But you're very impartial and non-biased towards the cases that are brought to you, and also the support, the financial support that you bring there to these litigants is so encouraging, so overwhelming as well. And I just want to say thank you and God bless you. And also to buttress, how, because you said that some people apply or by internet online. How about those that haven't got the capacity, the availability to use internet because and they are in such desperate how do they support through you?
So I think what the caller is asking is that apart from coming to you through internet online, any other means of reaching out to you, especially the older adults who hasn't got much access to internet, is there any other means?
Well, actually, in Nigeria right now, we have a lot of smartphones. A lot of them have children who are computer literate. This is millennium age. So when they reach out to us, we tell them to call on somebody that is computer literate to assist them to submit the case. Remember, nearly a year after we commenced this program, when we had the COVID pandemic,
Okay.
so we did not want to encourage physical attendance at the premises. And the website that we're working with, because when they call, we have some business centers that they can walk into
Okay.
and they assist them, they guide them on how to submit their cases. So far, they have been through the website because, like I said, they have access to computer literate people that can easily guide them and assist them to submit their cases. So when they submit the cases, then the legal team will reach them on the phone number that is there. If there is need for them to bring more documents, we guide them on how to do that as well to support their cases. So that's been the procedure.
Thank you. So, ma'am, can I ask you, the walk-in center, is that still in use, and where is the location?
For the court, Ikeja,
Okay.
Ikeja, Lagos.
Ikejo. Can I have one of the admin, please? And the online, please. What do they need to type online? Can I have one of the admin to put that on the website, on the Matters platform, please? So Ikeja, Lagos.
Yes, that's the location of the courtroom.
That's the location of the
And
courtroom. Okay.
and the website is www
Mm-hmm.
dot thejusticecourt.com. Some of them just type it without putting the THE. That's the justicecourt.com. So it has to be www.thejusticecourt.com.
So
It will lead
yeah.
them direct to the website.
Okay, so we've got the that put already on the Facebook. So it's www.thejusticecourt.com. So that will take you to the right website where you need to actually appeal case. Like I said, I'm gonna open the line and we'll keep talking. And as we're talking, if call comes in, we'll stop. We'll pick the call. So it's really really hot in UK. It's burning really. Oh, trust me. Even in the studio, I'm really I can feel it, even despite the fact that we have series of fun running. So the number to call to ask Judge Funmi any questions and is 079 353 18757. If you're in UK, if you're calling from abroad, please call the WhatsApp on 07, put just +44 78701 67525 on the WhatsApp, and we'll pick up your call and you have the opportunity to ask any question. So, just like I was saying earlier on, Judge Funmi, before the caller call earlier on, what attracted me to the to your courts, because obviously we have series of people from other country doing same, is you were not actually supporting just women. It wasn't like, oh, because she's a woman, she's actually being biased. You were actually you listen to the case, you will be patient, and if it's actually the woman that got it wrong, you say to them at this point, you were actually impartial. And obviously, like I said earlier on, the bit of the financial support is what actually attracted me to the YouTube when I watched one of it, and I was like, we have a lot of people doing, when we do something bad, the news is always all around. I wasn't surprised when somebody on the Instagram was saying, why do you want to invite her to the health matters? Is it to raise money? The program, I've been doing it for 4 years, is to create awareness. So please call her. We lost that. Please call back. Is to create awareness of just like what Judge Funmi Ashaolu is doing. Before I went on the YouTube, before I saw her on the Instagram actually the first time, I didn't know about it. And do you know how many people outside there that still did not know about it? And actually, but maybe because we don't live in Nigeria. And I need you to say some. You said you can visit some cases even if the people are not in Nigeria. We're gonna pick this and we'll come back to the question. Hello, you're welcome on today's program.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this beautiful show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing Judge Funmi Ashaolu. I've been jumping up and down. It's like we're seeing her face to face. I'm so excited to see her. And my question is...
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, after how effective is the decision made? Each time, let's take for example, a man says, yes, probably I don't want to still look after my child, and when Judge Funmi will say, oh, yes, you have to do this, you have to start giving them money, how much can you raise? How effective? Do they, I don't understand, are they really effective if they do not do it? Is there any repercussion? Is there anything that would, I don't know how to put the words, that would make any decision she made effective? Is it like a real family court? Is it acceptable under the law? I mean, it is acceptable, but how effective? How would they make sure the judgment made, people abide by it?
Like, is there like a follow-up from them after the decision or judgment has been passed? Over to you, ma'am.
believe the question is whether the judgment passed there are binding.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes, they are binding because they are real life cases.
Hmm.
And like I said earlier on, we try to decongest the regular court. So if it's not binding, then it makes a joke of it
Hmm.
because that means they still end up going back to the court. So with this, they signed for it. They've already consented with the fact that the decision will be binding on the two parties. So that is it.
So
They're
what she's
binding.
saying, the other part is that's one part of the question. The second part is if the individual did not actually fulfill their part of, like for instance the other part, like somebody was asked to be then paying for their children, and they after the judgment has been passed they didn't do it. So is there any follow-up from you, or what will the law take its course, or what will happen?
Yes, the law will take it first because the legal team now follow up with them.
Okay.
The is that there are a lot of cases that are brought to the justice court that in actual fact they are actually criminal in nature
Mm.
because yes, they will take loan, they won't pay back, and some divert the loan, the money meant for some purpose for another thing. They still come around to state that, and they don't understand that it's illegal
Hmm.
and criminal in nature at times.
Mm-hmm.
So when they don't, when they stop, because for the first 1.5 years we didn't have problem, but in last 6 months we had few people that they pay for some time and after a while they might stop.
Hmm.
So the legal team now reach out to them and explain the implication to them that by the defendant, by the plaintiff bringing the case to the justice court, it's just because a privilege. The plaintiff could have gone to make it a criminal matter, and the legal team explained to them the implication of the matter being tried at the criminal court. So
Oh,
by that, they comply. They sit up and they comply.
wow.
For bottom matrimonial cases, we do refer them to marriage counselors at the court's cost weekly. But we can't force all of them. We can't force any one of them
Mm-hmm.
because they're adults.
Mm-hmm.
So usually at that point, we still need the consent. The court might have passed that, well, you have to go for anger management classes or
Hmm.
go and visit a marriage counselor. If
Hmm.
they decide that they are not embracing it, there's nothing we can do.
Hmm.
We just
Thank you. That I think that was actually well explained in terms of what the caller wanted to know was that is it you? I think you really helped us in the using the legal is actually legal binded, yes, and obviously there is a legal team that actually would then follow up if they're not in compliance or willing to carry out the past judgment. And then obviously I love the part that you're able to differentiate the fact that if he's actually like because I listened to one bit of a tenant and a landlord case that the tenant actually wasn't actually paying the rent, and obviously the the landlord actually was like really kind enough to say I'm letting go of some certain amount, and the individual. So I saw the way you looked at it to say even start paying at your convenience. How can you pay monthly instrumentally, how much, so it's really good to say to know that if after such judgment has been passed and such individual goes to say okay, we're no longer in the court, I'm not going to comply to the judgment. So it's good to know that there is a legal team that will kind of follow up to say this has to be passed on, and if you don't do this, this is the consequences. Thank you so much. So as we were saying, as please call in 0793531875 to ask any question before Judge Fumi leaves today. And if you actually want to ask personal question, please go online on www.thejusticecourt.com so that you can actually enroll, put your cases to them. Like I said, the procedures is different from if you really want to go through the government this thing, because you and I know how much you're even going to pay for consultation in the first place, not to talk of the main paying the barrister or paying to see a judge, when the court is being taken. And I think the reason why I actually invited Dr. Fumi today is to create, as I was saying earlier on, create more awareness. She has a lot of followers, to create more awareness to the less privileged, so for them to know that, look, because I always think justice is never served in Nigeria. I've always had the opinion, because sometimes you see some cases, things being done, and at the end of the day, it seems like it's who know who. But obviously, having this kind of just this court system in place that caters and cares for the less privileged is really, really good. And I'm actually will say on my own, from the stable of Your Earth Matters platform, thank you so much for what you're doing to the community. You're doing a huge, good job. And we don't really thank ourselves. It's only when people die, you'll be seeing people posting and talking about them. And I always say, let's encourage yourself. Let's actually give compliments to people who deserves it. We are doing a good job. So I've got a few questions from the Facebook, which I'm going to take and pick up. And so that, because we have some people putting questions on the Facebook, so that I'm going to read just few of them to you. So there is actually Adeshino Olusegun Kolawole from Ogere Remo saying, I've always watched the court proceeding. Thank God for the wisdom displayed by Judge Ashaolu. And thank you so much, Adeshino Olusegun, for that. And there's actually another one saying, well done, more inspirational, and great the vision. Actually, more grace to Judge Fumi Ashaolu. So that's actually from the Facebook. So we were talking about case studies earlier on. You did actually talked about an incident of a lady coming from Abuja and obviously maltreating a guy. And you also cite an example of somebody who was actually neglected by the husband, actually leaving 4 children to them. Is there any system in Nigeria, for instance, such a woman who doesn't have a job, say she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have money, is there any system like in UK, if that person has the right to stay, the council will look into accommodating them. The council will look into, obviously I know I'm expecting too much from Nigeria, but is there anything in place in terms of housing support, in terms of any benefits, any governmental funding that is in place to help these people in that situation?
We're talking about women abandoned by their spouses. Right now, I'm not aware of any.
Wow.
Personally, I'm not aware.
Wow. That's
A
really
lot
tough.
of them. Look at a lot of them. You see, I'll bring this in now. Yes, because when we're handling
Let's pick the call, ma'am. We'll continue. Hello, you're welcome on today's program.
My question is, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I've just got a quick question. Good evening. I won't take much of your time.
That's fine.
And
Go
the
ahead.
question is, usually, like when we read political, what's it called, manifestations, we have wives of governors, we have women in banking, women in power that they're making awareness. Is there a way, people, let's take for example, vulnerable people that come on the show people can be signposted to services that support women, that support less privilege, because you see quite a few women, they are willing to work, but there's no capital, there's no support.
So let's take, for example, if the governor has, let's say the government had abandoned us. So what about the governor's wife? I think they usually have initiative. So probably they may not know about this program. Is there a way they are creating awareness and telling all these politicians that come, there are people here from the grassroots that need support, and they can get support from them?
Did you get a question, ma'am?
Not quite.
Okay, so the caller is actually asking that something similar to what I just asked. Is there a way you can signpost them? Is there, like, for people who are actually in DV, domestic violence, in terms of any, program in place, just like to kind of support them to move on? If not financial, what is in place in Nigeria for these people who are experiencing domestic violence?
You mean with the show?
Yeah,
Or general?
like, yeah, in the show, after you've seen somebody.
Yes, with the show, like I said, because all cases, most cases rather, are aired on TV, different stations, different times, and at the same time, there are some are uploaded at the on the YouTube channel. That's a YouTube channel. There is a Justice for TV. We
Okay.
upload them. People watch them. They see them on TV. And I said even beyond Nigeria, we have people that reach out to us. And this is about service to humanity.
Hmm.
It's a voluntary thing.
Hmm.
So when you see it, and we have our phone numbers on the website, when you Google, you get all this information that you can use to reach us. So anybody that is interested in assisting can easily reach us to all these people. And we always embrace it.
Thank you. Someone is asking a question. How is Justice Court getting its funding? Government funded or NGO sponsored?
No, not by NGO, not by government, but we have a production team.
Okay.
So now the one is self-funded for now.
Wow. So Kemi Tope Adebayo. So the answer is self-funded. Wow, that's quite a lot running such thing in Nigeria. I can't imagine. God bless you. God bless your pocket. I can't imagine doing such a thing in Nigeria. Oh, God bless you. So it's actually not government funded, as you can hear from the horse's mouth. It's not NGO sponsor. It's actually self-funded. Can you imagine? It's actually like giving back. So in a way, it's just like you're just trying to support the society in your own way, because this is not a profit kind of organization. Then if it's self-funding, you're using your own money to listen to a case, you're having empathy, and you're digging in your pockets and giving it to them. So well done. It's actually really good to know that.
Yes,
Sorry, you were saying something?
right.
Yeah, so it's
Yes, we've been on, and surely we've been reaching out to looking for sponsors as
okay.
well.
Okay.
Actually looking for sponsors.
And in fact, for it to survive, you will need. How long has this been happening? How long have you started the courts?
This is supposed to be 4 years now.
For
This month.
4 years.
Where about three
Three
years.
3 years. Wow. So it's actually, please, if you're actually in Nigeria, you don't have to be rich. You can recommend them, because I want the less privileged to be supported. And this is why I took out of my busy schedule to be doing this program. Like I said to people, don't think NHS is paying me. They don't pay me. This is me doing this out of my own, to actually bring people, professionals, for you to be able to have access, create more awareness to people. Though we get award acknowledgements. I'm going to pick that, ma'am. Then we'll continue. Hello. Hello, you're welcome on today's program.
Yes. Can I be on the program, please?
Your life on Your Earth Matters program to speak to Judge Fumi Ashaolu. Please go ahead.
Hello, Justice Fumi Ashaolu. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I'm an ardent fan of your program. I watch it back to
Thank,
back. Nice to see you.
thank you.
Um,
Go ahead. Are you still there, caller? Go ahead.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I just want to give you a big applause, Justice Ashalu.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here. It's a great place to be. I learn a lot from it. And my only question is,
Can
in
you
your
please tune
jurisdiction,
in the if you have another phone or you're watching it from the TV, so your voice is echoing back.
oh, okay,
Thank you.
okay, okay. Can you hear me now?
Perfectly well. Go ahead, please.
Okay. My question now is your program, is there any limitation to what you can handle? I know you handle matters of domestic nature, landlord versus their tenants, they borrower versus the creditors and stuff. I've seen a lot of your program. It's always on point, and your judgment is always very fair. And sometimes you go out of your way to even help individuals out of their problem, especially those vulnerable ladies that don't have any job, their spouse is not up to this task. I've seen in not one, not two cases that you have settled them in terms of financially looking for jobs for them. I am so pleased with that. All I want to know is there any limitation to what your court can, what type of case your court can intervene? And if there is a limitation, what are the categories, or what is the extent of which you can, you know, sort people out when they have these differences? Because I know it's not a proper court. I'm not saying it's not a proper court, but I know it's not a proper court backed by, you know, lawyers, where you have lawyers, where you have these, you have the advocate and stuff. So that is my question today, Justice Ajolu.
Okay. I can see. Thank you so much, Kola. I can see Judge Fumi laughing. Do you want to answer that, please? Maybe there is actually something we don't know. That is why we're here, so that you can enlighten us.
Okay, first of all, um, we handle civil cases. I
Civil case,
said it earlier on. It's a civil court.
civil court.
We don't touch criminal. We don't even have the jurisdiction to handle criminal matters. And when you refer to lawyers now, we've had cases where lawyers are paid at justice court with their clients. They are uploaded on YouTube. They are there.
Okay.
We've had male lawyers. They do come, but we don't stop them from coming. Although personally, um, I believe because it's a mediation process,
First.
it's usually better when the litigants come in, face themselves, I give them opportunity to negotiate and to reach an agreement. And when they appear to be a stalemate, then I come in to intervene in such a manner that we'll be able to balance the justice between them. So it's not strictly all about law.
Hmm.
I even advise them and talk about the moral aspects of what they have done. We give advice because the forum equally is being used to give people legal education. Because there's so many things that people go into that they don't even know the implication.
Hmm.
They don't even know what they are doing is wrong.
Hmm.
So it's a legal education medium. And like I said earlier on, all civil and commercial cases we do handle. But when it comes to criminal matters, we don't have the jurisdiction to touch them.
Okay. So, did I answer your question, Kola?
Yes, very well. She's doing a very fantastic job. Yeah. And can you ask her, please, is there a way individuals, can, give back to that program, because when she says she's not being funded by government or NGO, it's from the individual pockets. It's a lot, and I've seen what they've done to alleviate people out of problem. And I want to know if there's any way individuals or corporate bodies or businesses can come in to like contribute their own in any measure,
Yes.
small, medium, large, to contribute to the development and upliftment of the
Program.
program. Yep.
Yes, people can come in. We'll be very happy to have people supporting us fully. And they can reach out. If they reach out to us, then we respond.
So how can they reach out? That's what the question the caller is asking. So do we still have to go on www just courts, or is there a number, or is there an email that they can email you? So because they're not bringing a case, they want to be able to support the program. So
Yeah.
what's the best way to reach out?
Yes, we can. They can reach out to us through the website. Then at the website, we have phone number, list of phone numbers there. Some people pick them and they reach out to us through the phone numbers as well.
All right.
So I want to ask you, I've not gone on the website yet, but I know sometimes websites are structures and there are red asterisks in terms of putting your case. Because in this situation, if somebody doesn't have a case, sometimes if that place is left blank, it won't let you submit the application. So I hope that's not the case.
No, when you go there, there are numbers there to the legal team, and I've had people reach out to me as well.
Okay.
If my number is out there as well.
Okay.
So they reach out to me, and when they reach out, then I link them up with the production team,
Okay.
and we give them account details. We give them a bank account details as well. When they request for it, we
Okay.
give it out to them. So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Finally, can I ask this final question?
Please go ahead.
If then I'm interested, like personally, and I have a business outfit, is it something Justice Court can do in terms of advertisement for my business?
So I was going to ask that question. So like, you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube.
yes, we have yes.
So, and there are
We
ads.
have a method.
Yes. So if the caller has a business and she wants her business to be advertised on your program,
Yeah.
and she want to pay for it to support it, is that possible, ma'am?
Yes, please. Yes, please. We have a marketing team. So when they reach out to us, we just direct them to the appropriate people to
So
handle it.
before the caller goes, this is what I was trying to explain to you. I don't know if you can see my screen I think it's blank. So on your website, they will not, for somebody who doesn't have a case, is not the best place to go. So what I was explaining earlier on is that it will ask for it, and it has red tick. If you go on it, I think the production team can understand. So I think it will be best. So what I would do is that please put the question. If do you have access to your Etmos platform?
Sure.
Please put the question to say, give me details for supporting the court, the justice courts.
Justice Court.
Yeah, so
Okay.
put it in there. So I will speak to Judge Fumi after the program. We will need an email, a direct contact
Yeah, a direct
of
email,
maybe
yeah.
one of your team in production, one of your team in marketing. This link, if they're going to the link, is too lengthy, and if there's nothing to put, I've just quickly went through it. Is asking for who you bring into court, what is the case, what's the relationship. We don't need those ones. And if you don't put something in there, it won't go through.
It's not gonna go.
It's not going to go through. That's the way, because I know that's our website are set up. So that was why. So, but an email or your direct contacts, or as in not direct personal, but any work contact or work email will be the best, because somebody would then go in there and pick it up
They'll pick
and
it up.
liaise
Yeah.
directly with the sponsor. Obviously, we want this the civil courts to keep going, and there's just too much in Nigeria. Trust me. I look at your video. At least I've watched more than 50. I've
Yeah.
watched more than 50. So we want this to keep going. We want to support the program. So and thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's your name, please?
Justice Fumi Ashalo, thank you so much for this job you've put upon yourself. We're feeling what you're doing outside of government, backing, and is legal, is direct, is fair, is elevating, is supportive, and above all, is liberating some women that come around there. That's why I'm really so interested in that program, and by His grace, it will continue.
Amen.
Go
Thank
from
you.
strength to strength.
Sorry, what's your
Thank
name,
you
please?
so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Justice for me.
What's your name before you go, caller, please?
My name is Olukemi Adebayo.
Thank you so much. So I will actually link Olukemi Adebayo after the show. Thank you so much. Like I say, it's because we are actually talking about the justice the justice court support, and obviously normally if it's a sensitive health issue, I actually ask them not to call. You don't need to mention your name because of confidentiality, and obviously we don't want anyone to be labeled, so I encourage people to call anonymously on this show. I don't want to know who is calling. All I just want to know is that we are supporting someone out there, someone is benefiting and getting the right support. Thank you so much. So we will be putting an email on the Health Matters program so that you can email Judge Fumi Ashaolu, and the marketing team can actually respond to you. And the question the caller asked earlier on, was it a yes? They can actually advertise. That's
Yes.
good. Okay, that's
Yes.
good. So I've got the colors, and I think I can see the colors this thing on the. So I'll pick that up after the show. Thank you so much, caller. That was please, and it's a win-win actually. Please, and because like I said, I used to do my program on the TV, and obviously I was told to take it off Facebook. That wasn't the intention. So I don't need any adverts for now. We are cool for now. Please, if you have any small scale, especially if you want to expand in Nigeria, you want people to know it, it's gonna be a win because Dr. Judge Fumi Ashaolu has lots of followers, and if you advertise your market on the justice codes I don't want to call it program because it's a live event, because it's a life story. It is reality. It is not fiction. It is what people are going through. So it is actually not a stage program. I've actually seen people, I've watched them, I've studied them, and I can sometimes, you feel the pain. So please, if you have any means of supporting the program, we don't want the program to die. We don't want the civil courts to fold up, since it's not actually funded by the government or by anybody. Please call in, send an email to me, and I will link you up directly to Judge Fumi Ashaolu. So thank you so much. So the question earlier on was, is there any limitation to what courts or cases that can be aired in the civil court? And obviously Judge Fumi responded to say it's actually a civil court, and obviously everything is not only on law. They actually do impart moral aspects on whatever support they're doing. Is there any other thing you want to say out to your fans out there, Judge Fumi Ashaolu, before we wrap up? Because the weather is really, really hot, and trust me, people are really, I really appreciate people that they were even able to call onto this program. So we're going to be finishing on time. So is there any other thing you want them to know about the justice courts before we wrap up? Is there anything you want them to know about the justice courts that we've not talked about? Is it the network? Can you hear me, ma'am? Okay, I think the network is messing around. So if you're on Facebook and you can hear me, can you just do a wave? So, hello. I think yeah, we're back now. Hello, Judge Fumi Ashauli. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I know we lost a bit of connection earlier on. So I said, before we wrap up, is there any other thing we need to know about the Justice Court in terms of the support they give that we've not mentioned? And is there anything we've missed out?
Um, Justice Court, right now, um, a lot of people, we're using the medium to promote mediation so that so many people can settle their matters amicably.
Hmm.
And like I said earlier on too, to give legal education to our people, and on top of all, we are at the same time trying to give out moral education to the people. That's why at times we come around to give advice. And domestic violence in particular
Hmm.
is very rampant
Hmm.
between couples. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think it's a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a civil matter, it's a criminal offense.
Hmm.
And we try to educate people on this and to help them to work on their temperament.
Hmm.
And probably refer them for anger management classes.
Hmm.
More so in situation whereby the courtroom is always congested.
Hmm.
A lot of people that want their cases to be
Hard.
handled in a speedy manner to come to us. And even right now, most lawyers too, when they draft up agreement for their clients, they always put the option for mediation
Hmm.
before it's the legal practice, which was not common about 25, 30 years ago.
Hmm.
And even in the laws of Lagos State, is embraced there.
That's good.
Most times when you file your case to the state high court now, they first refer you to they refer the matter for mediation.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's after that that you now go to court. And most times when they are able to reach an agreement, they just file it in court as terms of settlement. And that has saved the court process of going through the trial and wasting time to attend to the litigants as well. So mediation is being embraced very well in Nigeria right now.
So somebody's put on a question, and DJ DBJ LOJ. Ma'am, please, do you deal with issues with tenants that refuses to pay their house rent in Lagos? We in diaspora build houses, but tenants are not paying. Okay. Oh, so apparently
Yes, handle, we've handled similar cases. They're on YouTube. They
okay.
reach out, they get online from there, and the tenants appear physically at the court. So we've handled such cases, sure. All
But
they
they
have to do
they
is to
don't
do
need
their
to they don't need to obviously appear because they're in actually abroad. Or how would that work?
join online the same way we are now. That's what we
Okay.
do.
Okay, that's
We,
perfect.
we set up the link for them and they join
That's
and we
good.
handle the case. That's what we do.
So if you actually are still online, so it is possible. So just still go on the www.thejusticecall.com and put in your case there. And the fact that you're living abroad, wherever you're living in diaspora, your case can still be handled and Judge Fumi just said you will join online. Obviously, the tenants living in Nigeria will join. It's actually painful, and I can relate when you sweat and you build a house and people are not paying. Please, yeah, please can you read my question? I just read it out and she's answered it. So please put your case on the www dot thejusticecourt.com, and you will get the legal team, production team to respond to you. But it's possible. That's the answer that we got from George Fumi. So thank you so much. We're going to be closing up at the moment, because you can see I'm really sweating. I'm in the studio. I've got all the lightning put on my face, and the network is as a result of the fan we were putting on. So that we are not roasting while we are doing this, and at the end of the day the fan is not helping, it's messing up the network, so we have to switch it off. So we need to wrap up. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that took the time to call on today's program. You see, we criticize ourselves a lot in Nigeria. We don't praise ourselves. I say this anyway at my place of call. We don't praise ourselves enough. We are too quick to talk about our short incomes. So when somebody is doing a good work, let us say it out. Let us show it to the world. To say this is an African woman, this is a Nigerian. She's doing wonderfully well. We appreciate you, and thank you so much to all the callers and to all Judge Fumi Ashaolu's fans that actually call in today to say thank you. We are saying we appreciate you, ma. Though there might not be financial support at the moment, God will continue to strengthen you, and God will continue to uphold you. You know, there will be a reward at one day. It's a shame that Nigeria don't do that award. You know, they don't see all these things. We see it. We living in diaspora, we see it. We see you. We see the good work you're doing, and we really appreciate you. And we'll try to support in all our little way. And this is the essence of the program. I'm fulfilled because this is what I want to do. I want to put it out there for people to see that you're doing a wonderful job. And thank you so much to all the audience. A big thank you to George Fumi Ashaolu herself. And thank you so much to my husband, the CEO of Dignity Radio Station, and all the admin on Your Earth Matters fans. The weather is hot. Please drink. If you can agile work, if you can work from home, do so. If you're not working as a nurse like me, if you don't have to be in the hospital, if you can negotiate working from home, if you don't have to go out, please. I think they said tomorrow is going to rain. God help us. We need that rain. So please look after yourself. Look after your mental state. If you're struggling with anything, send an email to Your Health Matters email, info.yourhealthmatters. You know this program, we don't need you to name yourself. We can read your letters. If it's ongoing situation, we will read it out, and that is why we call it sharing experience. If you want to call in, if you are bold enough to call in, you don't need to introduce yourself. You can call in anonymously. We can get professional support for you, even without you coming on the on the show. I've worked a part whereby I had a good support, and this is why I'm actually doing this, to say there are a lot of people, there are a lot of work we do outside this program, and because obviously the program is actually is not to showcase or actually boast of what we're doing. I'm achieving my aim, supporting, touching lives, you know. So I want to say, don't die in silence. Help is out there. All you need to do is just ask. Support yourself with the right people. Ask the right people for the support. Depression, anxiety, financial support, whatever. I have a lot of people coming on Facebook in my messenger asking for financial support. I'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at the genuinity of the thing. We'll do what we can do. But obviously, we are not saying we are rich. But in a little way, we are supporting others. Thank you so much, George Fumi. So we're going to call it up. You can see the way I'm